A language model is a piece of software that learns what words are likely to follow from other words when reading. So it's more likely that someone would write that she wore a beautiful dress than she wore a beautiful mess. Language models are useful in automatic voice recognition software or for automatically translating from one language to another. There's probably a language model in your pocket right now for suggesting words when you're texting on your smartphone. You can train these models by giving them lots to read. News articles, social media, novels, financial reports, whatever you want. The model simply counts up how many times it sees different sequences of words and uses those numbers to make its predictions. In our research, we are creating a special type of language model, which we call a narrative language model, which is different in a couple of ways. First, we train the model on a very particular genre of text, the personal stories that people write in their internet weblogs. We've collected millions of these stories over the years, automatically, by filtering billions of blog posts. When we train our language model on this type of text, it learns what words are likely to follow from others in stories of everyday experiences. The second thing we do is to get the model to look farther back when making its predictions. Instead of looking at the previous 2 or 3 words, we might look back at the words in the previous phrase, or previous sentence or paragraph. And because we're dealing with narrative text here, the model is learning to predict what sort of story events are more likely to follow from others. We're trying to get the model to predict what happens next in everyday scenarios. This is useful for common sense reasoning, particularly in computer simulations and virtual reality environments. When we try to simulate how objects move in space or how liquids flow over surfaces, we can rely on our good models of physics. But when we're trying to simulate people in complex social situations, we still don't have good theories to drive these models. So it's easier to model how an airplane can fly than to model how I might feel when a flight attendant drops a drink on my head. So instead, we can use a narrative language model for this. Instead of trying to write down all of the subtle rules that drive human behavior, we can ask the narrative language model to make a prediction based on the millions of stories we use to train it. This way, we're using the collective wisdom of millions of people to power our simulations, so that our virtual experiences can be more like real life. My name is Andrew Gordon. I'm a researcher at the Institute for Creative Technologies at the University of Southern California.